Are you moving to Henderson, Nevada and curious about what the schools are like in the area? Today we're going to go over everything to do with schools in Henderson, Nevada. Hey everyone, I'm Kristen.
And I'm Catherine.
And we are the Thomas Group at Love Local Real Estate. Today we are going to go over everything to do with something that we get asked a ton about from our clients and people that are moving to Las Vegas and the Henderson area.
Yeah.
And that is, how are the schools in Henderson? And today we're going to go over everything. It's going to be a little bit of a longer video, you guys, but what we'll do is put chapters down below because we're going to go over public schools, elementary, middle school, high school. We'll talk about magnet and charter schools, and we'll touch on private schools as well. So it's going to be a longer one, but hopefully we're going to give you a lot of information. And
a lot of really good information,
yes. Yeah, we've done our research for sure for you guys. And just so you know as well, we will put all of this into a blog post for you too, which we'll link to below, so you can kind of look through stuff yourself as well. But hopefully this will be a good intro for everyone. Really quick before we get into everything, if you are thinking about moving to Las Vegas or Henderson and you need some help, you have some questions, we would absolutely love to help you guys. You can find our information at thethomasgrouplv.com. Please reach out. We offer free consultations. We would love to help. And also, if you are new to our channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
Subscribe.
Yes, so that you can stay up to date on everything happening in Las Vegas, real estate, things to do here. Just get a really good feel for what it's like to live here.
Yeah.
So Kat, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Now, as we're talking about this, it's really important to know that what does a good school mean to you? For some people, it's test scores. What are the AP classes like? Does it have the best football team? Is the marching band program good? Music program good? Diversity is really important and probably not something that gets talked about a lot. So really, as you're looking into this, just keep in mind, what does a good school mean to you?
Because it'll be slightly different for everyone, depending on what you're looking for, the age of your children, things like that.
Exactly. And also, as realtors, it is unethical for us to steer you towards what is a good school for that exact reason, because what we think is a good school might not be what you think is a good school. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's really important just to know that, keep that in mind. So what we're going to do today is we'll be the source of the source, right? So Kat's going to explain a little bit where we got our information from.
So there's a couple places where we get our information from, as Kristen said, test scores. So we are using Greatschools.org and niche.com. So they're both going to rate them slightly different, but a lot of them are through test scores, your diversity, your athletics programs, administration, college prep, health and safety, facilities. And these are not the end-all be-alls, but it is going to give you a better idea of what the schools are. We have percentages of how kids are doing in certain subjects. And so if college prep is really important for you, or the football team like we talked about, we're going to be able to go over all of those things. And then, like we said, there is a link below so that you can check out our blog post, and there is a link in each school where you can check out the Greatschools rating and the niche rating as well. So not just our word for it, but then you can also go a little more in depth as well. So let's do it. Let's get started.
Do it. Okay, perfect. So we are going to start with public elementary schools in Henderson, Nevada. And there's like over 27 of these. There's a lot. So what we're going to do is just go over about 10 to 12 of them in like the most popular areas that you guys are reaching out to us about. But again, we're going to link to our blog post so you'll have the full list of every elementary school.
All of them. And like I said, the Greatschools and the niche, you can click on the link within the blog post and it'll take you directly to their website to learn more information about each one as well.
Great. And one more thing before we get into it, if you are watching this, in a couple of years, just know that school boundaries are always changing. So in that blog post, we're going to link to a map and a search that you can search your specific address just to make sure things haven't changed too much since we filmed this.
Yep, you can check out your zoning. All right, so let's get started with our first school. It is John Vanderburg Elementary in Green Valley Ranch. It's a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools and a B+ rating on niche. It's 22-to-1 student to teacher ratio. And 76% of students are at least proficient in math and 85% in reading.
All right, number 2 on our list is Frank Lamping Elementary School. Now, this is zoned for the Sunridge at McDonald Heights area and also the northern part of Anthem, like Coventry at Anthem. This school is a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools.org and a B+ on Niche. It has a student-teacher ratio of 18:1. And according to state test scores, at least 71% of students are proficient at math and 72% proficient in reading.
All right, on to our 3rd school. It is Shirley and Bill Wallen Elementary School, zoned for the Anthem area. It is a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools and a B+ rating on Niche. Student-to-teacher ratio is 18:1, and according to state test scores, 75% of students are at least proficient in math and 79% in reading.
All right, next up we have the school that is zoned for the Green Valley South area, and this is Selma Bartlett Elementary School. And this school is rated 8 out of 10 on Greatschools.org and a B+ on Niche. It has a student-to-teacher ratio of 22:1, and according to state test scores, 60% of students are at least proficient in math and 70% in reading.
Okay, on to the next one. Elise L. Wolf Elementary School. It's zoned for Seven Hills, Eastern Avenue, and Anthem. It's a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools, a B+ rating on Niche, 20:1 student-to-teacher ratio, and student test scores are 69% proficient in math and 76% proficient in reading.
Next up, we have McDonald Elementary School, and that is for the northern part of Green Valley. That school has a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools.org and a B+ on Niche. Now, this is quite good. The student-to-teacher ratio there is 16:1.
Oh, that is really great.
Right. And according to state test scores, 56% of students are at least proficient in math and 63% in reading.
All right, so now on to another part of the Green Valley Ranch area, shared district with Vanderburg, is Neil C. Twitchell Elementary School. They have an 8 out of 10 on Greatschools, a B+ rating on Niche, 20:1 student-to-teacher ratio. 72% of students are at least proficient in math and 77% in reading.
Next up is Taylor Elementary School, and this is zoned for the area around Eastern Avenue, South Fork, Sunridge, and McDonald Ranch. And this school gets an 8 out of 10 on Greatschools.org and a B+ on Niche. It has a student-teacher ratio of 21:1, and 65% of students are at least proficient in math and 72% in reading.
All right, next up is James Gibson Elementary School. This is for the north part of Green Valley and Silver Springs. We have a 7 out of 10 on Greatschools, B+ rating on Niche. It's a 17:1 student-to-teacher ratio, so another pretty good one. And according to state test scores, 50% of students are at least proficient in math and 65% in reading.
Great. And one last elementary school that we wanted to mention is the new one that was opened in the last couple of years for Inspirata. And this is Ellis and Elementary School. And it is too new to have ratings on Greatschools.org and Niche, but we wanted to mention it because obviously Inspirata is such a popular area.
Such a hot area right now.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, we'll put the links in below. Probably in the next couple years, you'll be able to see some ratings for that. So yeah, that was an overview of not even half of all the elementary schools that we have, but like we said, we're going to link to our blog below so you can have a click on through and explore a little bit more on your own.
Okay, so we're at middle schools now. Our first one is going to be Del Webb Middle School. It's zoned for quite a few areas, but the ones that you'll probably recognize most are going to be Seven Hills, Green Valley, and the Eastern Avenue area. Again, you can look at our link to the blog post and see some more places that are zoned for as well. It is a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools, B+ on Niche, and there's a 28:1 student-to-teacher ratio. At least 55% of students are proficient in math and 66% in reading.
And our next middle school is Jack and Terry Manion Middle School. Now, this is zoned for kind of the southeastern part of Henderson, like around the hills, Mission Hills, Highland Hills, that area. And it is a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools.org and a B+ on Niche. It has a student-to-teacher ratio of 27:1. 44% of students are at least proficient in math and 63% in reading.
So now we have Bob Miller Middle School. It is Green Valley Ranch, McDonald Ranch, Sunridge, South Fork, and McDonald Highlands. So another one with quite a few. Yeah. We have an 8 out of 10 on Greatschools, B+ on Niche, and we have 29:1 student-to-teacher ratio. At least 55% of students are proficient in math and 70% in reading. Next is Greenspun Junior High School. This is for Green Valley South and North. We have a 6 out of 10 on Greatschools, a B rating on Niche. It's 25:1 student-to-teacher ratio. At least 43% of students are proficient in math and 58% in reading.
Next up, we have Brown Junior High School, and that is for the area east of Boulder Highway, which includes Lake Las Vegas, Cadence, and Tuscany are probably the big master plans that you might have heard of. And this school gets a 4 out of 10 on Greatschools.org, a B- on Niche. It has a student-to-teacher ratio of 20:1, which is quite a bit lower than some of the other schools. And 26% of students are at least proficient in math and 45% in reading.
Now, Jack Lund Middle School. It's far west side of Green Valley South and North. We have a 5 out of 10 on Greatschools, B- on Niche. It's 27:1 student-to-teacher ratio. And 26% of students are at least proficient in math and 50% in reading.
And finally, we have Burkholder Junior High School. And this is for the area between Stephanie Street and Boulder Highway, so kind of on, the east side of Henderson. It's a 4 out of 10 on Greatschools and a B- on Niche. And it has a student-teacher ratio of 20:1.
Another lower one.
Yeah, another lower one.
Yeah.
24% of students are at least proficient in math and 48% in reading.
Here we go for our high schools. The first one is Coronado High. It's in Green Valley Ranch, Green Valley South, Seven Hills, and Anthem. They are a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools, an A rating on Niche.
Wow.
27:1 student-to-teacher ratio. 51% of students are at least proficient in math and 76% in reading. And a fun fact about Coronado High School, they actually have a student garden. They grow strawberries, cabbage, asparagus.
Oh. Do they sell them to the public, or are they for students?
It's for students just to learn like an extra skill.
Love that. That's really cool. All right, next up we have Green Valley High School. Now, this is zoned for the Green Valley North Whitney Ranch area of Henderson. It gets an 8 out of 10 on Greatschools and an A- on Niche. It has a 27:1 student-to-teacher ratio, and 32% of students are at least proficient in math and 51% in reading. So they're doing a little bit better in reading than in math there, huh?
Yeah.
And I've heard they have a really great a cappella group, which is fun.
Yeah, very cool. So now we're on to Foothill High School. Southeastern Henderson, east of Stephanie, McDonald Highlands. It is a 6 out of 10 on Greatschools. We have a B rating on Niche, 26:1 student-to-teacher ratio, and 28% of students are at least proficient in math and 47% in reading. And a fun fact about Foothill, their marching band team actually had a composition written just for them.
Very neat.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, and our last high school for the Henderson area is Liberty High School. Now, this is going to be the western part of Henderson. I think people are calling this area Henderson West now. Yeah. That's like Inspirata, the St. Rose area, anything that butts up. And actually, this kind of shares some zoning with like Las Vegas as well. And Liberty High School has a 4 out of 10 on Greatschools.org and a B+ on Niche. It has a lower student-to-teacher ratio at 24:1, which is nice to see.
Yeah.
And 22% of students are at least proficient in math and 40% in reading. So that was our overview of public schools, but what a lot of people don't realize is that the Henderson, Nevada area has a ton of magnet and charter school options as well. And just to kind of give you guys an overview of what a magnet and charter school is. Now, you're not going to pay any extra money. It's not a private school. It's still funded by the state.
Yeah.
But a magnet school is a little bit more involved with the state. It's held accountable by the state and local school board, just like the public schools. The charter schools are like one step closer to private schools, and they're held accountable to their own charter. Magnet schools are funded by the state, and charter schools receive state funding as well, but they may have other sources of funding too. And there's a couple different ways that you can apply. The magnet schools actually have one website, which we'll link to below. And those you go and fill out the application on that one website, and you can apply to all of them. Mm-hmm. Now, because the charter schools are a little bit more private, you'll have to apply to those individually. And we're going to kind of talk about what the different criteria are to get in, but with the exception of a few of them, most often they're lottery based.
Yeah. So hopefully you're lucky.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to start with our charter schools, and the first one is Coral Academy of Science. Now, this is #1 ranked charter school in all of Nevada by niche. So,
great.
Yeah. You have your Sandy Ridge and Eastgate. They are K through 12. The Eastgate is K through 7, and then 8 through 12 is at Sandy Ridge. They are a 10 out of 10 by Greatschools and an A on niche. So both niche and Greatschools give it a really great rating. Mm-hmm. And so Coral Academy is a STEM focused, which means science, technology, engineering, and math school. It's a college prep public charter school that gives students in grades K through 12 an opportunity to achieve their full potentials.
Next up on our list is another really popular charter school system called Pinecrest. And there's actually 5 different campuses throughout the Henderson area. So
wow.
It's super popular. Where some of their campuses are in Cadence. There's 2 or 3 actually pretty close to Inspirata. So quite often a lot of our clients that do end up moving to Inspirata, because the high school that is zoned for right now is actually quite far away. It's zoned for Liberty. And just so you guys know, actually, they are going to be building a public high school in Inspirata eventually. They have the land set aside. But as of right now, it's
just so new still. I mean, the new builds are still, lotterying off lots and things like that. So the schools are definitely catching up. But
they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Pinecrest is a really great option if you are in the Inspirata area. Again, you are going to have to be put into a lottery, but hopefully, your kids don't have to wait too long. And this academy, it's unrated on Greatschools. It gets an A- on niche, but overall, we both know some parents that send their kids here, and everybody's really happy with the school.
Absolutely. All right, our next one is Silver Sands Montessori. It is a public charter. It's K through 8th grade, and it has a B- rating on niche.
Okay.
And it's 37% of students are at least proficient in math and 47% in reading.
That's really cool that the Montessori school is a charter school, because usually they're private schools and
that's what
tuition's like $12,000 a year. So
it can definitely get up there.
Yeah, that's awesome. Next up is another charter school for the Cadence area. In addition to having a Pinecrest out there, they have a school called Legacy Traditional School. And when I looked into them, they're very traditional. They're very by the book, very classic classroom type of experience. So probably very different than sending your kids to a Montessori. And this is a K through 8 school, and it is pretty new, so it's not rated on any of the websites yet.
But check back and we'll update you in our blog link if we get any more information on it. Great, so we're going to talk about a kind of an interesting high school that we have in the Henderson area. It is a sports leadership and management high school.
Wow, that's pretty unique.
Yeah, I've never heard of anything like this before, so we had to look a little bit into it and check it out for you. And so the mission of the Sports Leadership and Management High School of Nevada is to prepare students for post-secondary studies and careers through an engaging educational program emphasizing sports leadership and management career preparation. So, I mean, you could go a lot of ways with this. Either if you want to play sports, if you want to do like kinesiology for sports, manage a team. I feel like there's so many ways you could go with this. And if you're at a young age, like I feel like we both were with our performing careers, you want a school, that's really tailored to your needs. So they have everything from traditional school sports to women's flag football, varsity cheerleading, bowling,
Ooh, nice.
Which is really exciting.
Love it.
And then they have men's and women's wrestling teams, which are actually both doing particularly well.
Great.
Yeah.
Wonderful. And then the last charter school that we're going to talk about today is the College of Southern Nevada High School South. Now, we really want to talk about this one because it's something that's very unique and a really good opportunity for kids that are in either 11th or 12th grade. Because what this school is a mix of high school and college students. And actually the Clark County school system will pay for up to 12 college credits per semester, which is
awesome.
Really cool. So you could be getting basically half your college school done in 11th and 12th grade. I mean, I wish that I would have done this actually back when I was in high school.
So I actually did. In
Great.
my senior year, we did half day in high school and then half day at the community college,
smart.
And knocked out so many, the prereqs. It was great. I love this idea, and I love that we have one here too.
Such a good opportunity.
Yeah.
And last in our list of charter schools is Nevada State High School. Now, this is just for students that are in 11th to 12th grade. It has a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools and an A- on niche. So very well ranked.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about this is it's an early college charter school for juniors and seniors.
Oh, so similar to the College of Southern Nevada's program.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. It's such a good opportunity. Seriously. So students in this program take real college courses with real professors on real college campuses in Nevada. It's really great because it's state funded, so you can be earning college credit once again while you're still in high school.
Great. And this one is different campuses, not just the College of Southern Nevada.
Exactly.
So
you're
great.
actually on the campus. Yeah.
Very cool.
Okay, so moving on from charter schools, which, by the way, just as a reminder, those ones you'll apply directly through the schools. Now we're going on to magnet schools, and these are the ones that the application will be due in early January, and you will go to a website, which we will link in our blog, and you will rank your top three choices.
Oh, okay.
So you have a little bit maybe higher of a chance than in the charter school just waiting. And most of the magnet schools are done on a lottery basis, but there are a couple that we'll talk about that are done on merit. So whether it's a STEM school that looks for a certain GPA or a performing arts school that you have to audition for, and we'll talk about that as we get to them.
So our first magnet school is an elementary school. It is McCaw Elementary, and this is a STEAM school, so slightly different than STEM. They've added the arts, so science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And so this one's going to be downtown Henderson. It is a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools,
Good.
a B+ on niche, and it is the #1 niche standout elementary school in Nevada.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah.
So that's a really good option for people that are living in like the Cadence area, Lake Las Vegas, that sort of thing. I love that we have that there.
Yeah.
The next one is kind of fun, and that is Thurman White Middle School. And this is a performing arts school that we have kind of in the Whitney Ranch, Green Valley
awesome.
North area. Yeah.
Start them young.
Yes,
I love it.
Exactly. I so wish that like my school had performing arts in it. Did yours?
Same. I went to a private school, and it was like middle school, high school, and I think like 2 years after I left, they got like a theater program. And I'm like, really?
Nice.
That's okay. At least they have it.
Yeah, that's awesome. So Thurman White, like I said, it's a middle school. It is a 6 out of 10 on Greatschools and a B+ on niche. 31% of students are at least proficient in math and 51% in reading. So next up we have the Basic Academy of International Studies, which is a really unique high school in the Henderson area. It's an international baccalaureate school.
Oh, wow.
Which is if you're not familiar with that, it's a national like pedagogy program. And they offer a ton of different programs. They have career-related things like automotive technician, early childhood development, entrepreneurship, etc. And they have more specific college prep programs too.
That's really awesome.
Yeah, it's really good. And just so you guys kind of know what they're called, an IB school, what the goals of those are. It's to nurture the students in an open-minded education, including making them be great thinkers, communicators, principled, reflective, open-minded, balanced, risk takers, inquirers, caring, and knowledgeable. So they really just strive for, you know, the whole person.
Yeah, I was just going to say a whole person.
Yeah.
That's
a good person.
Really amazing.
Yeah.
I love that. So now we're on to Southeast Career Technical Academy. And they have a 9 out of 10 on Greatschools, a B+ rating on Niche. All right, so now we're on to the private schools in Henderson. Now these are not rated on Greatschools. They do have a rating on Niche, some of them. So if you have any questions about them, obviously you can reach out to us and we'll get what we can for you. But you can also check out their websites as well, which we can link in our blog post. So we're first going to start with Green Valley Christian School. They are pre-kindergarten and then kindergarten through 12th grade, and they have a B- on Niche.
Great. Next up, we have Foothills Montessori, which is K through 8. And this Montessori school is just outside of McDonald Highlands. So it's really popular with all the families that live in that part of town. And obviously, you know, you've probably heard of Montessori if you have children.
Yeah.
A very, very well-renowned program.
And so the next is Henderson International, and we've heard a lot about this school. There are no ratings on Greatschools or Niche, but just from parents talking, we've heard some pretty good things. And this is pre-kindergarten through 9th grade.
And finally, the last school on our list is Lake Mead Christian Academy. This school is pre-K all the way up through 12th grade. And it's kind of out on the way to Lake Las Vegas. It's by Cadence. So if you're kind of living on the east side of town, very good option for you there. This one is rated on Niche an A, which is
That's
wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah.
Really good. And even better, this is pretty crazy, their student-to-teacher ratio is 9-to-1.
What?
Yeah, that's the best we've seen.
That's
really
fantastic.
Low.
So if you want a really hands-on teacher experience for your kids, that's awesome. So all of these are private schools, so they are tuition-based, but you can find more about that on their websites.
Great, you guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. I know we threw a lot of information out at you, but we will link to our blog once again below so you can kind of read everything over and have another look at it.
Don't forget to subscribe.
And really quick, one last thing before we go. If you are thinking about moving to the Las Vegas, Henderson area, please reach out to us. We would love to help you, and we're so grateful for everyone that already has. You can find our information at thethomasgrouplv.com. So with that, we will see you in the next video.
Thanks.
Bye.